Next, let's talk about notices. Most everybody here has given a 3-day curable notice, right? Is there anyone who's never given a notice where you've never had a tenant ever have a problem at all, where every tenant is paid on time, every tenant has complied with your contracts, and everything is always good as long as you've been property owners and managers? Then you can plug your ears for the next couple minutes as we talk about the change in law. The first, this came about, this new law that comes effective September 1. It's a very unusual date. It was a date that went back and forth during the evolution of the history of the bill that created this new law. And what this says is your 3-day notice to pay or quit, which you have done in calendar days, you serve it on a Monday, it starts then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, bingo, you're done. You serve it on a Friday, it goes Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you're done, right? That changes. And now it's more easily understood as whenever you serve the notice at any day of the week, those days that count towards meeting your 3-day notice requirement does not include Saturday, Sundays, and court holidays. Now, court holidays, July 4th, and Thanksgiving, things of this nature. And the reason for this is the tenants over the years have always argued there are some landlords and managers that have gamed the system, made it really difficult on them to seek counsel in a very expeditious fashion, because if you serve on a Friday afternoon, they argued, well, gee, that's Saturday and Sunday, and then they can't get a hold of counsel to seek advice. Our response was, well, if the argument is for the 3-day notice, which is the most common 3-day notice is not a failure to pay rent, right? That, do you need the advice of an attorney to know if you paid rent? You did or you didn't? Is the traffic light green or is it red? I mean, it's a pretty clear thing. So the way to work around this, Mac and Ruth know all too well, is timing. And I'll explain that. And be careful what you wish for. The tenants wanted notice not to include Saturdays, Sundays, and court holidays, right? Well, you used to wait till Fridays. You used to wait till Thursdays. You used to wait, to maybe some later date during the month if the tenant hasn't paid rent. Now, you need to look at your contracts. If you say that payment, you have a grace period of 5, 6, 7 days, that should change. That should change by saying, rent's due on the 1st, it's late on the 2nd. Change in terms of tenancy again. You want to change all your contracts as soon as possible. You don't have to wait till September 1. Why not do it now? Start collecting the rent when it actually is due instead of being really gracious about it. That's what being a nice owner or manager used to be all about, and they're beginning to define the rules as really hardened as managers and owners are sleazy and all tenants are great. Well, not all landlords are perfect and not all tenants are perfect. So my strong recommendation to you, look at the beginning of your contract. If you have a grace period, get rid of it, or if it's a 5-day, make it a 1-day. Make it a 2-day, whatever it is. You've got to notice the tenant, and you know that when you give notice, if it's a tenant been there for 1 year or more, you have to give them a 60-day notice, right? And if it's one that's less than a year, you give them a 30-day notice for a change in terms. That's really, it's not an if. I strongly encourage you, you need to do this. Second, let's look at timing for a minute. So now, rent's due on the 1st. You would wait the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, maybe the 6th, and then start talking to the tenant. Do you want to continue talking, or you just say, I wish it could be different, but the law requires me to do this, and here I hope we can resolve this matter. Please pay the rent in 3 days. Now, if you serve the notice on a Monday, today, or tomorrow, when the law goes into effect, it won't be effective. It won't affect anything, right? Because it starts Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you're good. Whether it's today's law or tomorrow's new law, it doesn't make a difference. If you serve the notice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you're done there. If you serve notices on a Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, then it kicks over to the following week. That's why I'm strongly recommending that you look at your contracts, amend the contracts, and unquestionably, Mac, Ruth, and I will be looking at the agreements that are done to make sure that happens. Now, we've just worked through one aspect, and that's late payment. How many of you have a late charge on your agreements? Several. Well, okay, so the law is very interesting, and the courts apply late payments differently. Your late payment clause should be looked at as well, because that's going to affect you. If you have a late payment amount, this bill will profoundly affect your business operation too, because if you have a late payment amount and a late clause, all of that is going to operate before you can do anything else. If you have a late payment, make sure it's the same time. So if now you're going to start saying everything is late the 2nd of the month, that's when the late fee charges. If you wait longer, it's going to cut against you. It's going to work against you. So you want to look at that particular paragraph as well. So now you have a couple more homework assignments that we've given you tonight. To legally comply, follow the spirit, as well as to minimize adverse impact on your day-to-day operation. And the final bit of advice, and we'll go on to the next law, it's really important in terms of consistency. If you are doing it to the tenant, and providing this for the tenant unit, we'll still use 33, it's got to be uniformly applied to everybody. You give uniform notice. If you're in a rent control community, this doesn't materially affect the performance. It doesn't adversely affect anything. You can do it, and the rent control boards and the rent control laws won't affect what you are looking at either, and what you want to create as a new enforceable part of your rental agreement or lease contract with your tenant or tenants. But make sure it's uniform, so everybody has to follow the same law, and so you don't have to also scratch your head. Let's see, for the tenant in this, it's going to be that, and the tenant in this unit, it's going to be something different. Make it so it's very easily followed. Make sure that then, because what could happen is an eviction defense firm, in their discovery, finds out that what you're doing, you're going to have serious problems, really serious problems in enforcement, and a lot of money will change hands as a consequence, and it will be your money leaving your pocketbook. Now let's 5-day notice. 5-day notice time periods change too, or the 5-day summons, if you will. The same rule applies. Saturday, Sundays, court holidays don't apply, so the calendar counting doesn't apply. It's going to be these days that you've painstakingly done. You generally handle the 3-day notices, right? The 5-day notices, many people choose to give to a law firm. Not all. If you do it yourself, your practice has to change immediately. If it's a UD law firm, then you need to have a discussion about making sure that you're going to contact them much earlier. A lot of landlords I've talked to in counsel before have the 3-day notice and languish for several days and then start the 5-day summons, right? That should change too. Your 3-day notice, when it ends, that 5 days, that's how I like this. The 5-day summons should immediately follow. You want to collapse these time periods so you can do it. You can recover all these fees, and there are methods to do that. Legal methods, I might tell you. But so these two changes, the 3-day notice time period and the 5-day, all start formally September 1 next year. But there's no reason to wait because you need to back it up and think about change in terms of tenancy. You need to look at your agreements to see how they comply and then change your business practice. The